India marks 7 years since the revocation of Article 370, the landmark move that ended Jammu and Kashmir's special autonomous status and reorganized the state into two union territories. Now, security has been stepped up across the union territory in view of recent terror attacks, despite the attempts to disturb the peace. The 7 years since the abrogation has seen a dramatic operational overhaul. From new hospitals, expanded universities and empowered local councils, this transformation stands in stark contrast to the unfolding crisis across the line of control. In Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, residents and independent observers report severe shortages of basic services, compounded by a crackdown from Pakistani military forces. Local reports estimate that over 90 people have been killed in PoJK over the last 2 months alone. Healthcare illustrates that the gap most clearly. While Jammu and Kashmir now boasts 2 All India Institutes of Medical Sciences and multiple new government medical colleges, PoJK's healthcare infrastructure is crumbling, with a doctor-to-population ratio of roughly 1 to 3,900, far below the World Health Organization standards. Education reflects the same divide. Jammu and Kashmir is now home to an IIT, an IIM and expanded technical training programs aimed at driving youth employment. Across the line of control, PoJK's few higher education institutions remain severely underfunded and neglected. Governance marks another stark dividing line here. In PoJK, the local assembly remains tightly controlled by the Kashmir Council and authorities in Islamabad. As local protests flare over soaring electricity bills, flour shortages and resource exploitation, Islamabad's response has been heavy-handed force and internet blackouts. In Jammu and Kashmir, the Panchayati Raj system has been strengthened, delivering welfare directly to citizens. Assembly elections were held peacefully. Even the demand for statehood restoration has seen peaceful protests, with the ruling National Conference to stage protests on the anniversary of the abrogation. The People's Democratic Party, led by its chief Mehbooba Mufti, held a candlelight protest in Srinagar on Tuesday, demanding the restoration of Article 370. The BJP is marking the day with celebratory events at its party headquarters and in districts. The party took out a Tiranga rally from Lal Chowk, adding the abrogation of Article 370 had changed the mood in Jammu and Kashmir. All right, to give us more details, we are currently now being joined by WION Senior Special Correspondent Idris Loan. Idris, give us the latest. What's the scenes like there?
Well, Shivan, security remains one of the major concerns for the authorities, especially for today. And that's why what we are seeing on the ground is there are barricades that have been put in place at every nook and corner. We're standing at the road where, if I ask my cameraman to show you, there is a barbed wire that has been put all across the road that leads to Lal Chowk. One side of the road has completely been shut. This road also leads to the PDP office, which is Mehbooba Mufti's headquarter office in Srinagar city. We've seen since morning there have been protests taking place, whether it's the PDP protest or the National Conference protest that happened inside their offices, where they demanded for the restoration of Article 370 and 35A. On the other hand, Shivan, we saw there are people who are celebrating this day as well. The BJP supporters who were here present, where we are standing right now, took out a bike rally carrying the Indian national flag on every bike from this place to their party headquarters in Srinagar, which is in Jawaharnagar area. If we talk about the last 7 years, Shivan, as the Prime Minister has just tweeted a while ago and said that it was historic to basically to revocate the Article 370 and 35A, because since then the lives of the people of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh have witnessed wide-ranging transformation. The PM also says that infrastructure has expanded, opportunities in the areas as education, healthcare, sports have grown, and also the marginalized communities, those were denied their basic constitutional right for decades, have been empowered. If we talk about the ground situation, Shivan, in the last 7 years, what is commendable, what has been achieved in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir is the curb on violence. There have been no major stone pelting or clashes that have taken place in the Kashmir Valley in the last 7 years. There have been no civilian deaths that have taken place during those protests that used to happen every year in Kashmir Valley before 2019. That is one of the biggest points that we see in the last many years. If we talk from the tourism perspective as well, there have been massive records that have been broken. If we talk about the tourism footfall, people did think after the Pahalgam terror attack there would be lull in the tourism and it might take a long time to revive. But what we see on the ground, a record number of pilgrims coming for Amarnath Yatra, record number of tourists coming to different places all across the Kashmir Valley. So the road to development definitely there, but the political parties, especially the regional political parties, still asking for the revocation, still asking that the Article 370 and the special status basically of Jammu and Kashmir should be returned, whether it's the PDP President Mehbooba Mufti or the current Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, Umar Abdullah, both the parties saying the same thing, while as BJP supporters across Jammu and Kashmir celebrating today.
Absolutely, Idris. The kind of protest we're seeing this time, it's in stark contrast to what we used to see before 2019. We'll leave it there for now. Thank you so much for getting us the latest. We'll be connecting with you again for more details. That was Idris Loan joining us from